Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. So there's been some controversy once again in the photography world online. A photographer basically entered and won his own contest. And not just once, multiple times. Now, understandably, I can see why a lot of people would be upset about this. It seems on the face of it that most people would know it's just not a good idea to enter your own contest. Never mind allow yourself to be the winner. I mean, I wouldn't even enter, but if I did and I happened to win because of blind judging, I would concede and say, no, choose somebody else. Thank you very much. That would make it fair because it's my contest. Lots of people have weighed in on this online. Frono's Photo actually has weighed in quite heavily with an amusing video. And I tend to agree with pretty much everything he said. The crux of the matter, I've got a couple articles on this here, but the photographer is a professional. And I think that adds insult to the injury. It's Sal Cinco I think it's Cinco is his name. He runs Shutterfest Photo. So not only is he an online presence, he also offers training and education for photographers, which is kind of, I think that kind of muddies the waters even more here and makes it even worse what he's done. As I said, he didn't just win first place. In addition to being selected as the grand prize winner, his photos won first place in 5 of the 16 categories, second place in 4 categories, and third place in 2 categories. Now, I think that is just plain wrong. I don't think that you can enter, nor should you enter, your own contest and win. As a matter of fact, if you think about it, most contests out there, you'll see, especially if it's a large corporation running it, they'll have in the fine print that if you're an employee, you're prohibited from entering or from winning. And that's for good reason, because it just looks bad. Here's some comments back. He seems to be not understanding why people are upset. He doesn't seem to get it. And it's fueling the fire, and I think making the situation worse instead of backing down, apologizing, and doing what's right. Here's some of his feedback. He said, did I enter my own contest, my own competition? Yes, I did, Cinco writes. Were my images shown favor? No, absolutely not. The judging is blind and fair. Now, obviously, everybody's going to speculate on that one and going to think, really? Like, prove it. Because as soon as you enter your own contest and then you win, it calls into question any fairness and whatnot in the contest. I don't know. I don't know if it was fair or not. It does seem suspicious. It may have been perfectly fair, but I think the right thing to do here would have been to concede and say, oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that I won. Let's take mine out of the running, give him an honorable mention if you want, and let somebody else win my contest. The next thing he said that I had here highlighted was, I entered the competition and all competitions to win. I am a competitor. Competition pushes me and it pushes the people around me to raise the bar. I've been entering competition for 7+ years. Great. I'm glad you like competitions. But I don't know why you don't see the glaring conflict of interest, the huge problem, and why, that rightly so, that everybody's upset. When you throw your own contest and then you enter it yourself and then you walk away with a large proportion of the prizes, including a significant number of first places, that just reeks of wrong. Whether the judging was fair or blind or not, it's just wrong. It's a conflict of interest. It's a glaring conflict of interest. And the fact that Sal doesn't see that, I think that's the major problem. The fact that he's continuing to argue the point is fueling the fire and fueling the backlash and the rage against him. Now, what I don't agree with is there has been some, not just anger about this, but some threats made. And I never agree with threatening people or their family or their livelihood over something like this, or most things in general. Cinco said there's been threats to burn my building, threats to report me to the IRS because somehow this is a financial scandal, and he says he just wants us to go away. It's pure silliness. Now, I do not agree with threats to the building, threats to report you to the IRS. I'm not sure the IRS is the body of the government that deals with the way competitions and gambling should be run, but there probably is a governmental body that handles that. And I suspect you are in a conflict of interest situation legally. I'm not 100% on that, but that's my guess. So the fact that people are threatening to do that, I don't have a problem with at all. In fact, go ahead. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. I don't understand. You say this is pure silliness and you want this to go away. So do the right thing. Say, I shouldn't have entered my own competition, at least not allowed myself to be the winner and take the prizes. So that would have been probably resolved the whole thing. But the fact that you're arguing the point, digging your heels in, and you don't see why this is a massive, glaring conflict of interest, that's, I think, what's getting the general public, getting people mad. But what do you guys think? Is that why there's such a backlash? Is that why, if you're upset about this or if you disagree with this, is that what angers you the most? Is the glaring conflict of interest that somebody would hold their own contest and then win? Not just once, but in numerous categories. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about it. Let's discuss it. Was Sal in the wrong here? Is it a conflict of interest? Let me know if you think, no, it's perfectly fine what he did. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll get flamed, but we'll keep it civil. But I'm curious to hear if there are people out there that would actually defend him. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.